Evening, here we go with the second in our series of sessions and description of them. Tonight we've got a little bit of a different one. This is our swim school, and we're going to be going through a lot of technical exercises, not a huge amount of training effect, although that doesn't mean to say the session is necessarily easy and there's no cardiovascular or training stimulus to it, but the focus tonight is on technique. We've got lots of coaches on poolside, we're doing lots of drill exercises combined with full stroke swimming. And tonight it's the last one in the course, so we're right at the end of it. So we're looking at things like catch, we're looking at a bit of timing, and we're obviously going to recap on a few of the key points that we've done over the last 10 weeks. Well, 9 weeks so far. So let's have a look and see what we're up to. Right then, okay, listen up guys and girls. Right, last one tonight, thank you very much. So remember we've got an hour and a half, so pace yourselves. Right. Okay, tonight then, we are going to be doing a bit more work, so the last hour or so we're going to be doing a little bit more work on your catch and the pull and the real propulsive parts of the stroke. But the first part we're going to do tonight, we're going to do a little bit of a recap, so go over some of the real basic stuff. We're going to do a bit of floating, a bit of torpedo kick, because we always put that in, it's always good for you. And so with the floating, we're looking for that body position, so all the different cues. I've had my jab today, so my left arm doesn't work quite properly. So hand above your head, okay, extended. Ow. I think the plaster's just come off. I literally had it 10 minutes ago. Hands above your head, arms extended, sort of chin up a little bit, looking forward. Head position, try to keep your head position high, don't ram your head down. Okay, head neutral, so you're looking forward, lifting your chin, keeping your head water level sort of approximately there. Okay, with your ribs, you're pulling your ribs up, so lifting through there. Okay, so you've got tension all the way down into your abs, so your abs are then starting to pull on your hips to try and keep your hips nice and flat. So you're rotating your pelvis backwards by pulling your belly button in, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your hamstrings, pointing your toes, keep your ankles together. Now, if somebody want to go through all that again and remind me what it was? Basically, stand as tall as you can. If you basically do that, you can't pretty much go wrong. The most obvious thing to do wrong is be doing this. Okay, so you want to be trying to make sure that head stays neutral and you're looking forward. But if you're trying to make yourself as long as you possibly can be, you won't be too far off the mark. Okay, feet nice and tight together is the other one. We see a lot of people trying to do it like that. Okay, you're trying to go. The reason for this is to try and get you high in the water, so you've got that good body position, so that when you put your arms into the equation and you start to move forward, you're taking everything behind you, your hips, your feet, your thighs, through the width of your shoulders and the depth of your chest. You can't change that, so you're trying to make everything go through that, and you want to be as high in the water as possible. Okay, so we're going to start with a bit of floating, and then we'll go into a bit of kick, and then we'll go into the full stroke. Okay? Right, in you get them. So those are their roll plates on. Got just the smallest pool buoys we can find, just to help them get a feel for it to start with, and then gradually take the pool buoy away. So we started with a bigger pool buoy, we get to a smaller one. Here we go. So that is way, way better from Neil. So when he first tried doing that, his feet just went straight to the bottom. Now he's able to control it. Good job. That's getting better. You're delaying. I know you did it without that. I know you can, but you were delaying how long it took your feet to go down. So you've got some control over it, because when you first did it, your feet just went like that. But now they're just going like this slowly. So you can nearly do it. It's coming. No, I would keep doing it without it now. You're getting close enough that, yeah, you'll learn to do it. Try and do it for a bit longer. Excellent, that's the tricky bit when you go over on your back, trying to keep your legs up. Yeah, so again, that's just controlling it through your core, so that you're able to basically keep your legs nice and high as well, so that you're on a level plane, whether you're on your front or on your back. There we go, great bit of there we go. Great control there from Sharon. So everything's engaged, nice and long, good body position. Fantastic, textbook. So with this exercise, we're building on the floating. So holding in the body position, switch everything on, into torpedo kick, and then into swim. So what we're trying to do with this is get the engagement, the core engagement, the good body position, bring the legs in, and then bring the arms in afterwards. Okay, so float, kick, and then the arms come in, and we end up with a nice high body position. Okay, so this time we're doing it from a floating start, but we're going straight into swimming. So legs come in big time, arms come in big time. So fast, hard start, looking for power off of it. Core activation's great, so nice and high in the water. Then when you get to about halfway, just start to shut the legs off a little bit, slow the arms down slightly and cruise into the other end. Okay, so now we've moved on to a little bit of javelin. So with javelin or kicking on your side, it depends what you want to call it. Then we're looking for that one arm extended out in front, sort of middle finger in line with the same shoulder, not across the centre line. We look at things like head position for breathing. We look at core control to make sure people aren't bowing in the middle. And then as usual, we do 25 drill, 25 swim. Key messages back to the swimmers when they've coming back in their full stroke. It's different things for different people. For some people it's to really focus upon where their hand's entering the water and the alignment. And onto the other arm for the other length, next length. For some people it's their head position for the breathing. It might be different things on different repetitions or on different sides. Most people find this drill much easier to do on one side rather than the other. So for one side you might be focusing upon, say, your alignment. On the other side you might be focusing more on head position for breathing or keeping core engaged or hip rotation. So this is a bit of a precursor, so after this we're going to go on to a drill we call scoop dog, which is where you just start to do the first activation part of the catch, and then from there we will go on to doing something like single arm or unco, which we've just started to introduce with this group, so they're not particularly proficient yet with it, but that's part of the learning experience, obviously. As you can see, we've got a range of different styles of swimmers in here. There's a whole variety of different ways people can swim, but a lot of the time, from my perspective, the fundamentals of a lot of the aspects of the stroke are the same. Things like body position, alignment, how the hand enters the water. A lot of those things are consistent. It's good, Sharon. That's better, Dave. That brings your stroke rate up just a little bit as well, because you're not losing that fraction of a second, each time. So your stroke rate goes up by a couple of strokes a minute, but not because you're losing anything anyway, just because you're not wasting time. More efficient. Yeah. Good. So a lot of the exercises that we do, they don't necessarily need to translate to everybody's stroke looking identical. But if you look at all swimmers, all good successful swimmers or fast swimmers or competent swimmers, then they'll all be doing a lot of the same things in a similar way, but the presentation of it will be a little bit different. Right, here we go with a bit of single arm work. So single arm drill, really challenging drill. So we don't use this very early on in the program. This is a sort of last couple of sessions. It challenges pretty much everything. You've got body position, you've got rotation, you've got alignment, you've got kick, you've got breathing, you've got your catch, you've got your pull under the water. There's pretty much everything in there that it works upon. And I'll isolate different things for different people. For me, one of the most powerful things about doing drills is the thought processes and the sort of neural connections with trying to isolate aspects of the stroke. And then sometimes even athletes who can't quite execute the drill, the process of really trying to think about it and concentrating about certain aspects of it mean that when it goes back into their full stroke, it actually has a much more powerful effect, and you can see that they've been working on it. You can see what they've been working on coming through in your full stroke. Okay, so we've been doing a bit of gearing exercise here. So we've had 425 swimming a medium sort of intensity, stroke count all the way. Then we slowed the pace down, and then we've sped the pace up. trying to maintain the same stroke count each time, therefore maintaining the same sort of stroke length, but the rate obviously changes. Next, we're going to move into some hundreds, where again we do something similar, but trying to maintain a similar stroke count all the way through the hundred to try and reinforce the integrity of the stroke, rather than just spin the arms a little bit more each time. But also as a measure of where technical fatigue might set in. So if the stroke count starts to creep up on a moderate intensity, then the stroke is starting to break down a little bit, therefore the efficiency is starting to go from it. So a little bit of stroke counting can really help with identifying where that is, or getting you to bring yourself back up on top of it again. Might be just a lapse in concentration. Technical fail there, the batteries ran out of my camera and I didn't bring a spare, so afraid that's the end of it. I'm just going to play a bit of stock footage while I finish up here. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of the sorts of things we do on a typical swim school session, how we can use drills. Obviously there's thousands of different drills that you can use, but this goes into some detail on how we try and get the skill transfer from the drill into the full stroke, and how that can help you to improve your swimming. So like I said, I hope that find that useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!